So in this video, I'm going to talk about my experiences taking the intuition classes with a local medium here in Chicagoland, and how I discovered which abilities I had and some of the uh, experiments we did or trials we did to figure out how well we could connect. So uh, this person, it's actually a couple, they have a um, shop storefront down in Irving Park section of Chicago. And a friend of mine told me about them and wanted to get a reading, but found out there was a 3-year waiting list because she's very popular. However, she sent me some information a few months later. Oh, she's giving classes, Intuition 1 and Intuition 2. And they were live classes down at the studio. So I said, I'm signing up. So I signed up for the first one, and I think it was in October. Anyway, so I drive down for the class, go to the storefront, park as close to the building as I can. Street parking in Chicago is pretty crowded. And the first thing I notice is this building looks familiar. It's a brick building, and the main part of the building is about, I think it's 3 stories, and then there's single story storefronts on either side. So she's in one of the storefronts. But the main building was a tattoo parlor, and I swore I had seen that building before. So anyway, I go in, and there's about 12 of us. I'm the only man. Everyone else is a woman. And we're sitting in a big circle. She assembles this in a circle. She hands out the checklists for each ability and says, okay, first thing we're going to do, fill out these checklists and, basically check any box for um, anything you've had an experience with. So the first one was for empathic abilities. Do you feel pain? Do you get depressed for no reason? About 20, 30 questions, each one of these checklists. So I'm checking them along. Yes, yes. A lot more yeses than nos. I said, okay, I guess I'm empathic. Second one was clairaudient, then clairvoyant, and then clairsentient. So 4 checklists. Check them all. And again, more yeses than nos on every single checklist. I said, okay, I guess I have these abilities. So, we go through them for a few minutes. Then she says, okay, we're going to do an experiment. So everyone stay in the circle. We're going to see if anyone can pick up on auras. So she lights a candle on a pedestal in the center of the circle, lights a white candle, and she says, okay, now concentrate on the candle and write down whatever colors you see around that flame. And I don't really see colors. I don't see auras too well. So I'm sitting there trying to concentrate. Everyone's writing down stuff, and I can't get anything off the candle. But within a few minutes, this face appears right here, comes in from the wall. It's a brick wall dividing her studio from the tattoo parlor. And this face comes in, and it looks very haggard, like they always do, and beat up, and got this evil smirk on their face, and just sitting there hovering the whole time we're doing this exercise. And I'm like, okay, go away, get away, get away from me. Of course, this is before I knew precisely what I was doing, but it's sitting there and it's not going away. So then finally she goes, end of exercise. Okay, let's share what we found. And then the face finally kind of faded back through the wall. So they're going around and saying, I saw gold, I saw red, I saw blue, da 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 da. Then it comes to me. Okay, Steve, what did you see? I said, I didn't see any auras, but I saw a face come at me through the wall, and it sat there with this evil grin the whole time we're doing this exercise. I said, it's creeping me out. I can't concentrate with this face here. And I said, it finally disappeared, but I don't know what that was about. And she almost has a shock reaction and says, oh, well, we saged the place. This should be safe. The room, the space is safe. The space is safe. We saged the place. We saged the place. We haven't had a problem. And so then I remembered where I saw that tattoo parlor. It was an episode of The Dead Files where Amy Allen went in, Steve DeShabi and Amy Allen went in, and turns out it used to be a funeral parlor. And basically, Amy determined that the original owner died of a heart attack and was running everything was connected with the mob back then, 1910s, 1920s. And basically, everyone who ever died in that space died of a heart attack, including people attending funerals when it was a funeral parlor before it became a tattoo studio. And they were all trapped there by this original person and put in the basement. And they were all trapped there. And so um, I said, is this the original owner coming through? I don't know what that was, but he's not getting me. Anyway, so I said, well, is that the place that the Dead Files investigation goes? Oh, yes. But, they supposedly cleaned it all up and, it's safe now. And, we saged this space so that nothing comes through and on and on. I said, well, a face came through me and I can't concentrate with this face staring at me. So she moved me 90 degrees into the circle. So I faced the windows and then I didn't have it come back again. So I was able to continue with the lessons. So anyway, we divided up into groups and we did some basic exercise stuff. So just trying to tap into your intuition. So they say, to get information, you don't think, you just answer. And I've had this happen to me a number of times over the years. Just inadvertently, I'm talking to somebody, inadvertently make a comment. It's like, oh, really? Yeah, you look like you should be from New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey. How did you know that? That kind of thing. More recently, young lady that cuts my hair in town here. She's talking about she was managing a store at the time and had a problem employee, and no one got along with this employee apparently. And so she made a comment one night, this is 3 years ago, that Thursday we'd had it, so we all went out for drinks without her afterwards, and we all just complained up a storm about her and unloaded. And so I got a little tipsy and all that stuff like that. And right out of my mouth, boom, pregnant women shouldn't be drinking alcohol. And she stops, jaw drops. How did you know I was pregnant? We just found out this morning. I'm psychic. I didn't know anything. I just blurted it out. And then a second time, a few months later, I blurted out a fake name. It says like someone that we didn't like went into her store, and she didn't want her to know she was working there. I said, well, you should have come up with an alias. It's like, sorry, I'm not her. I'm Penelope. And then she says, again, jaw drop. How'd you know that was her nickname for me? Like, I'm psychic. Stuff just comes out. So I have a history of that. Anyway, so that's how you get information. You go with the first thing that pops into your head. You don't know if it's right or wrong. You just say it, and most of the time it turns out to be correct. So anyway, we divided into groups, and she gave us a deck of cards. We partnered up, gave a deck of cards, and she said, your job is to just determine if it's red or black. You don't care about number, sweet, any of that stuff, just red or black, and just first thing pops in your head. So 10 cards. The lady I was paired up with went first, and she's holds up the first card, and I go red, black, red. She goes through all 10 cards. Turns out I got 8 out of the 10 correct. And then I repeated it for her, and I think she got 4 out of the 10 correct. But anyway, so that was interesting, but just kind of like capture that ability a little bit. Help you realize, just say the first thing. Don't think about it. As soon as you start thinking about it, your mind goes all confused. So just say the first thing pops in your head. Then we had to try to read each other. So we sat in front of each other, and she's reading me, and all I can remember her saying is like, well, I think you're in a career where you help people. I don't know if you're a nurse or a doctor or a therapist of some kind, but you're helping people, and you love doing what you're doing. And I can't remember what else she said, but basically I do safety. So I am helping people on a daily basis at work, trying to reduce risk. And then it was my turn. So I go to read her. And of course, I'm not expecting much, but as soon as I close my eyes, I see the words retirement planning, very clear, big block, all capital letters in my mind's eye, behind my eyelids, retirement planning. And then I saw like Florida or beach, or I saw palm trees, like a warm climate. And then I saw this like 10-year-old boy, straight brown hair, standing next to her. It's like, okay, is that sun? I don't know, but that's what I picked up. So they said, okay, Steve, what did you get? And so I said, okay, well, first thing I saw was retirement planning, the words retirement planning. And then I saw like beach, like I thought it was maybe Florida, the palm trees and stuff is a warm climate. And then I saw what looked like to be a 10-year-old boy, brown hair, standing next to her. And I don't know what the connection is. And then the lady looked a little bit surprised, and I said, "That's all I got. I don't know if any of that is correct or not." So the lady said, "Well, I'm retiring next Friday, and we're moving to Arizona." So I said, "Well, that's not Florida." And the psychic says, the medium shop owner says, "It's a warm climate. Just take it. Just take it. It's a warm climate. This is the first time you've tried this. Just you take it. Take it. All right." So warm climate. And then she said, "We're taking care of our 10-year-old grandson who's been living with us because the mother's going through some issues. So he's been living with us for over a year now." So I'm like, okay, maybe I do have some abilities here, and I was able to do a reading. So that was interesting for my first experience. So I'm going to talk about the second intuition class in the next video. But again, if you've had any experiences, please put them in the comments.